on its sleeves. Now, how do we do that? We do that by renaming some of the typical typical Toastmasters meetings in our own style. So Toastmasters, as you know, it's a 100-year-old organization that is aimed to perfect people's communication and leadership skills. Now, wherever you go, whether in Tokyo or Timbuktu, Toastmasters meetings can be divided into 3 segments. You have prepared speeches, you have extempore speeches, and you have evaluation segments. Now, here in WordWise, we mix the pot a little bit. We have prepared speeches, we have extempore speeches, and we have evaluations. And we have a lot more. We have extempore writing, creative writing, which is similar to table topics. Topic is given to speakers, to volunteers at the beginning of the meeting. Up to 3 volunteers can sign up for this, and they need to present a speech after 30 to 40 minutes. A 3 to 5 minute speech. Remember, in table topics, you're speaking for 2 minutes on the dime. Here, you need to speak for 4 to 5 minutes after 30 to 40 minutes. It's certainly not difficult. I would urge all of you to sign up for that. We have something called Act the Word. It's a segment that is making a comeback today. So do watch out for that. I'm not going to say anything about that until I'll wait for you guys to see and experience that. We are a club of voracious readers. We have very frequent book review segments. We have a segment called interpretive reading, where members present a piece of prose or poetry that has really touched them, soul-stirring prose and soul-stirring poetry. What we do in all of this is, number 1, we showcase our love for literature. And number 2, we encourage all our guests to walk away from the meeting at least a word wiser. And we do that in another funny way. We have a segment called A Word Wiser, where we present a word, we go through the entire etymology, so that in addition to the word presented by the grammarian, you're always a word wiser after you come to WordWise. All right. On that note, let me quickly interact with a few guests whom I'm seeing for the first time. There is a guest, Sangeeta Shruti. She's got the longest first name that you can imagine and a longer second name as well. She joins us from Agnel Toastmasters, and she's a very frequent guest at D98 in several clubs. You can't look beyond the grammarian's role unless you've heard Toastmaster Sangeeta Shruti. I'm trying to compress on time. Okay, yeah, there. Sangeeta Shruti's blushes. We have someone called Aarti Bhandekar, former president of Sobo Toastmasters Club, South Bombay Toastmasters Club. It's an amazing club with some amazing speeches and speakers. Welcome to WordWise Toastmasters, Aarti. Good to see you. We have a former district champion here. There's nothing like a former district champion. Once you're a district champion, you are a district champion for life. And that is Toastmaster Noman Abid. Hey Noman, I know that you're in a hilly region. I'm not asking you to switch on your camera. Last but not least at all, we have someone called Rashmi P, whom I can't place at all. Rashmi, can you quickly unmute and say a quick 2-3 sentences about yourself?
Sure. Thank you. Hi, I'm Rashmi. I belong to Hyderabad Toastmaster Club. It's been a little over a year. I'm a part of Toastmaster Club, and Toastmaster of the day, Aditya, happens to be a very good friend of mine. And because of my interest in books, he suggested that I do join this meeting, and I'm really looking forward to learn a lot more from this club.
Lovely. Okay, we have our regular guests, Toastmaster Nazia, who's coming in, and we have someone called Muhammad Asghar. His camera is off right now, but when he turns on camera, believe me, we call him the Sherlock Holmes from Southeast Asia. You'll realize it when you see a side profile, and you'll realize it when he starts to speak. Yeah, I see recognition all over. Yes, all right. On that note, before the GE throws something at me, I'd like to say that the club mission statement of Toastmasters is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communications and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. What it actually means is that in the next 2 hours, you're the safest place on planet Earth to air your views, to share your stories. and you'll be given the given the best. I'm sorry, someone's distracting me over here. And it's the safest place to share your stories, and you'll be given feedback so that when you walk away from this meeting, you will be not just a word wiser, you'll be wiser all over. Let me introduce Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Aditya Balya. He's got a long bio on his LinkedIn, but let's keep that aside. Toastmaster Aditya is someone who never says no to a role. His TMOD segments are a treat to listen to. This is one person who throws wisdom left, right, and center and up and down all over. I've rarely walked away from a Toastmaster meeting where Aditya has a TMOD without feeling wiser, without feeling enriched. I've noticed that all his TMOD segments, they're educative. We keep saying that you need to educate, entertain, and engage. Aditya does all four easily, and we'll be seeing that. But he's also a member of Matrix Toastmasters Club in India, and he's a voracious reader and is a delightful person to talk to. On that note, the stage is yours, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Aditya.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Cyril, for that very lovely introduction. You've put me on spot, a lot of pressure, but it feels great to be in a special themed club at Wordwise Toastmasters Club. So today's theme is something interesting, something very common, very omnipresent. It is about change. Change at an organizational level, change at an individual level. But before we start talking about change, I'd like to ask a few questions. And if you have been there, done that, or if you agree with me with any of these questions, raise your hands. All right. How many of you have started to initiate change, any form of change in your lifestyle, and you didn't succeed? How many of you initiated change, but you were not able to sustain it? How many of you were mandated, were put in a position where you had to incorporate change, but you were unsuccessful? Happens all the time. Changes can be mandatory, changes can be voluntary. It is about how you plan it, you build it, and you sustain it so that it stays with you and it brings some form of impact in your lives. And in this TMOD session, my task is to change your perspective about change, help you manage, enable you to manage change differently. And by the end of this session, I'm sure each one of you will be able to build a personal change plan by yourself. And if you are able to do that, it is my success and your success too. But before that, before we deep dive into the TMOD session, I would like to invite the auxiliary role players, that is the language evaluator and timer. Please help me welcome the language evaluator of today's meeting, distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid, TBH. Over to you.
Thank you so much, TMOD. Today, my role as language evaluator would be to listen to the meeting and notice good usages and highlight them. Also, try to listen to grammatical errors, but not without suggesting corrections. Uh, it is also my duty to assign the word of the day, and today the word of the day is pizzazz. And pizzazz incorporates one of my favorite thing in the whole wide world, that is pizza. So, uh, but pizzazz itself means a mixture of glamour and exuberance. So there's no shortage of pizzazz within WordWise members and guests. So I'm expecting plenty of pizzazz to be displayed today. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, language evaluator. Now, please help me welcome the timer of today's meeting, Toastmaster Cyril Paul. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. As a timer for today's Toastmasters meeting, you can think of me as a traffic cop who directs the flow of time through the agenda, the flow of the agenda. Uh, Now I shall be doing that exactly using traffic cop signals, red, yellow, and green. Each person has been told about the minimum time, the qualifying time, and the maximum time. When you're at the qualifying, the minimum time, you'll see the screen flash green. My screen would be flashing green. Qualifying time, yellow, and red means it's time to wind up. Basically, what means that when I flash red, it's time to get off the screen. Back to you, TMOD.
Thank you very much, Timer Toastmaster Cyril. Now back to my theme, embracing change. Not every other person you meet is wise, correct? Not every other person you meet is healthy. Not every other person you meet is rich. But each one of us desires to be wise, healthy, intelligent, and rich. What is the difference? The difference is that we approach change differently, and sometimes we approach change in a wrong manner. Sometimes we approach change correctly, but we are not able to sustain the change in our lives. And let me tell you why. It is because of resistance. How many of you have heard about this principle in static physics that natural resistance always is present? We will have to apply an equal opposite force to beat the natural resistance. Yeah. Similarly, there are many forms of resistances pre-existing in our lives, in our body, in our routines. We will have to apply an equal and opposite force to break this resistance. Let me tell you what are the different types of resistances. Resistance can be psychological. Okay, but before that, let me ask guest Sangeeta Shruti. Yeah, you're on spot. Now tell me, what is that one change you have been trying to build in your life, bring in your life? What is that one change? Any change? Just give me an example so it is easy for me to explain.
You're gonna make a guinea pig out of me?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Getting up at 4:30 or 5 in the morning.
Okay,
I
okay,
don't seem to get out of sleep before 6:37.
okay. All right. So waking up early is a change that guest Sangeeta Shruti wants to bring in her life. So sometimes you think that you are not capable of waking up early. There is a fear of failure that exists. Sometimes you're anxious that you'll feel very tired early in the morning if you wake up early. Sometimes you're just not able to wake up early in the morning. So there is a psychological or a physiological resistance pre-existing in our body that is refraining, that is preventing Sangita Shruti from waking up early in the morning. This is psychological resistance. Resistance can also be social. Sometimes the social circles you are a part of, they prevent you from approaching and sustaining change. Imagine I live with roommates who always go very late to bed. They hit the sack late in the night. How will I develop motivation if I am a part of social circles that are preventing change to happen in my lives? So, this is a kind of social resistance. And resistance can also be financial. Sometimes you don't have the funds to build change in your life, sustain change in your life. So, the first step to change is to actually sit and understand what is the resistance that is stopping you. I will give you a framework to beat this resistance, to tackle this resistance. But before that, let's proceed to the next segment of today's meeting, and that is let's word it assignment. To host this exclusive segment, I would like to invite Toastmaster Nazia Ali Akbar. Over to you.
Hello, everyone. Am I audible? All
Yes.
right. Okay. So I'm quite glad to join this session after so long. And I was away for some very genuine reasons, actually. There were different job assignments, and I was so occupied with that. So, anyways, sharing my delight with you all to be here. And here are the two topics which I have selected for Let's What It segment. The first one I'm going to announce is one of the most charming topic which attracts me a lot, that gives me inspires and triggers a lot of imagination for me all the time. And that topic is the poetry of the earth is never dead. If anyone wants to note it down and wants to participate for this very topic, is I don't think so that it's unfamiliar for many of us. We know that who is there behind this very beautiful, thoughtful, metaphorical saying, the poetry of the earth is never dead. This topic is interesting for me for the reason of our original connectivity, our eternal connectivity, our everlasting connectivity with nature. Beauty of nature, that is the music of the earth, and it should never be dead. Our inspiration, our spiritual insight to understand the metaphorical existence, purpose, and meaning of earth, that insight should never be dead. How we can see ourselves, our thinkings, our way of life, our norms of life, how nature has a very significant connection to it. In fact, that should never be dead. An earth where we are existing, that is our home, that is our mother. Its beauty, its spirituality should never be dead. So all these thoughts, all these ideas, most of the times are very much encapsulated, I believe, in this very much saying that the poetry of the earth is never dead. So that is the first topic from my side. And I'll be offering another one. Two topics are there. Other one is also quite undeniable. And that is, hope is the dream of a waking man. Hope is the dream of a waking man. Until you're alive, you're hopeful. And hope dies once the process of life is over. So I don't think so that this topic needs much elaboration, much discussion, much contemplation from my side. So hope is the dream of a waking man. The second topic of the day, and the first topic was the poetry of the earth is never dead, a sweetheart topic for myself, in fact. So I would like to have some volunteer speakers, those who would like to share their thoughts towards the last minutes of this very much meeting today. I would like to take your names, please. You may raise hands, and I would like to note down your names as well. So here I can see some hands raised by, I need to know the names as well, please.
There is TBH, DTM Talha bin Hamid.
All right. And
There's
please, would you like to share
Srijita.
your topic?
No,
I would like to know the
let-
topic
they
of
can, let
Yeah.
them choose. They can present
Okay, all
on
right,
either
all right,
topic.
all right.
Yeah.
And next speaker we'll have
Srijita,
Srijita.
Toastmaster Srijita.
Okay.
I'd like to volunteer Toastmaster Sangeeta Shruti and Toastmaster Aarti Bandekar. Okay, go for it. Sangeeta Shruti, Sangeeta.
Sangeeta.
Toastmaster Aarti, would you like to go for it? It's table topics.
Today I'd just like to hear, but today I'd just like to hear everything. I think I'm soaking in so much information.
Okay, all right. No worries at all. Toastmaster Hira.
Thank you.
Toastmaster Hira, would you like to take up this table topic, which you can present after 40 minutes? You just need to speak for 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Toastmaster Rashmi, one more person.
Yes.
I'm not
Let's go.
sure for today. Surely for the next time.
Okay, all right. You have 3 speakers, DTM Talha bin Hamid, DTM Srijita, and Toastmaster Sangeeta.
Sangeeta, yes.
Table topic master, please do not call these three when you're doing the table topics. I'll separately let you know. Back to you, Toastmaster Nazia.
All right. Okay, I think TM Cyril Paul has already told about it that each presenter will have 3 to 5 minutes after 40 minutes while this segment of Let's Word It will be starting. And anything should I add about the topics I have selected, or am I allowed to say anything else in the world? Whatever I like.
Perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect. We'll hand it over back to Toastmaster of the day so that we stay up. Got one last request from Toastmaster Sneha, whether she can be part of it.
Yes, can I participate?
Go for it.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Yep. All right. 4 participants. I'll send the list and the speaking order to you one-on-one. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Can I proceed? Yeah, thank you very much. I've given you a problem, and now it's time for me to share the solution as well. I've told you what are the different types of resistances that are stopping you from bringing a change in your lives. Now I'll tell you how to tackle the resistance. Now I'll give you a formula, and I want each one of you to by heart it. Yeah. So it is going to be the math class all over again, but trust me, this will help you. Not like one of your trigonometric formulae. So the formula is D into V into F greater than R. Toastmaster Cyril, would you like to repeat it for me?
D into V into F
Greater than
should be
R.
greater than R. You're right. Okay.
Toastmaster
Didn't make any
Shrijita, would you
sense.
like to repeat it for me?
D into V into F is greater than R.
All right. Toastmaster Muhammad Asghar, would you like to repeat it for me?
Repeat.
Toastmaster Nazia, would you like to repeat it for me?
Yeah, sure. It was D into V into F greater than R.
All right. Final, Toastmaster Asghar, would you like to repeat it for me?
Repeat the same thing.
Yes, the
D
same
into
thing.
V, E into V into E is equal to R.
No, it is D
D
into
to
V
V
into
into F
F greater
greater than R.
than R. All right. Memorized? All right. Now let
Yeah.
me tell you what these variables mean. Okay. D into V into F greater than R is where D means dissatisfaction. Unless you are dissatisfied about something, why would you change? So it is for you to deeply reflect and introspect what is that is making you dissatisfied. If Sangeeta Shruti wants to wake up early in the morning, what is that which is troubling her? Is it the fatigue? Is it the routine? Is it the loss of time? Is it the loss of productivity? What is that which is bothering you deep inside? Identify the factor of dissatisfaction. D. Now let's come to the variable V. V is vision. Once you are dissatisfied, it is very important for you to foresee a future when you incorporate change. Have a vision. If you would want to wake up early in the morning, at what time would you want to go to the bed? What will you do when you wake up early in the morning? If you don't wake up early in the morning, what are the steps you are planning to take? Have a vision in front of you, have a plan in front of you. See things very clearly when you start building change. And lastly, F. F means first steps. This is the time when you will have to stop thinking and start acting. Take the first steps, identify what is dissatisfying, and then have a vision in front of you. This product of DVF will be sufficient for you to overcome resistance. Now, can anybody tell me why is it D into V into F? Why is it not D plus V plus F? Let me tell you. It is because, so basically, this is again a very small principle, a very easy principle of mathematics. The difference between the sum and the product. Even one variable among the three variables is zero, the entire product becomes zero. So imagine I have a clear vision in front of me. I have taken the first steps, but I'm not dissatisfied. Then the entire force becomes zero. So I will have to have non-zero values for all three variables so that I can develop a force, a strong force that can break the resistance, the natural resistance in us. I think that's all maths for today. Let's further progress to the next section of today's meeting. And I'm very excited about change. All right, back to the theme. We talked about the different types of resistances. We talked about dVf greater than R. Now it's time for me to introduce the ADKAR model of change. So the ADKAR model of change is a framework developed by a behavioral scientist that can help all teams, organization, or even individuals to approach change differently and sustain it. So what does ADKAR mean? ADKAR. A stands for awareness. Every time you would want to change something about yourself, identify why. So awareness is not about being aware of the change, it is being aware of the reason behind the change, the motivation for change. A. And then D. D is the desire to change. What is that one thing deep inside you, incentivizing you, pushing you to change? D for desire. K is knowledge. Once you have decided to change something about yourself, acquire the right sources of knowledge, acquire things that can equip you to implement this change. And then we have A. A is ability. Acquire knowledge is the cognitive aspect of change, where ability is the behavioral aspect of change. Once you know what and how to change, you need the competence and capability to change. And then lastly, R. R is reinforcement. You will have to make change a daily part of your schedule, a daily part of your culture, norms, and customs, so that you can time and again repeat the change and reinforces. ADKAR: awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, and reinforcement. On that note, it is time for me to open the next segment of today's meeting, and that is At the Word. To host this segment for you, I would like to welcome the group who are going to present this vocal variety practice segment in front of you. May I name all the participants of this segment? All right. Now, please, with the biggest round of applause, please help me welcome Toastmaster Iman Abid, Toastmaster Gule Zehra, Toastmaster Meher Tanveer, Toastmaster Samreen Mukhtar, and Toastmaster Somaya Sheikh. Over to you. All the best.
Just give it a few seconds while all speakers are on screen.
Are all the speakers on screen in
Yes. Could we just quickly do a audio video check? Iman, starting with you.
Hello, am I audible?
You are audible. There's a little bit of patchiness. The rest of us who are not on screen, let's shut off our videos.
Can you all hear me?
Somaya, you're clearly audible.
All right.
Toastmaster Samreen, Toastmaster Meher,
Can you all hear me?
loud and clear.
Audio
Toastmaster
check.
Meher,
Audio check. Can you hear
wonderful.
me?
Yes. Yes.
Am I
We have checked
audible?
you. You are audible. There's still a bit of shakiness in audio when Toastmaster Iman speaks.
Mine as well?
No, just Toastmaster Iman. May I request all the other players, all the other attendees to shut down their videos to save on bandwidth? Toastmaster Switchar, Toastmaster Obed, if you could turn off your videos. Yes, Toastmaster Maher.
Toastmaster Cyril, would you be needing any screen sharing rights for any?
I have screen sharing rights,
Okay.
and let me know when you guys are ready. Your audio cue will start.
Iman, can you please speak up once again? Can you change your spot?
Iman,
Maybe go near to the router, or maybe somewhere where you can get a good signals.
Okay. Is it better?
much better.
Loads
Yes.
better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, participants, one moment. Was my screen audible?
Act 1, Scene 1. It is a regular day in the life of fighter pilot Captain John Christopher, codename Blue J4. He has taken his fighter plane for a routine spin, and then he gets a call that Army pilots either long to hear or absolutely dread hearing. An unidentified flying object, a UFO, has been spotted in the sky, and he has been called to action. Let's see what happens.
Mayday, Blue 4. This is Balya from Command Center. Please acknowledge immediately.
Can you please repeat it again?
Okay. Mayday, Blue 4. This is Balya from Command Center. Please acknowledge immediately.
I hear you loud and clear, Blackjack. What's the emergency? Roger, please send location coordinates. I'll get there at the earliest. What does the object look like?
It appears it is not the thing we have seen before.
Can you tell me more about the aircraft? How fast is it moving? Where did it come from? What is its flight path?
It didn't have a flight path at all. It just appeared out of the blue. Like that suddenly fell out of the sky.
I'm on my way for a closer look. We may have a real UFO on our hands. Blue J4 out.
Quick
The
summary so
alert
far.
has been given.
I'm just
alert-
sorry. I'm just sorry for interrupting. Toastmaster Iman, I think you need to move a little closer to the router because your voice is a little patchy. I'll just summarize whatever happened before handing over to Gulazera. Apparently, some strange aircraft has been spotted on the sky, and Blackjack, which is command center, has reported to Blue J4 a pilot, and the pilot is flying over to take a look. Back to you, narrator Gulazera.
The alert has been given, and the fighter pilot zooms towards the target. In the government, panic calls are made to all the departments and ministries. Phones are rung, emails are sent, peoples are called out of meeting urgently. Officials from NATO, Pentagon, CIA, and even NASA get together on conference calls. What is to be done? In the meantime, up in the sky, a very familiar looking spaceship, the USS Enterprise, flies across the sky. Act 1, Scene 2. Within the Enterprise, Captain James T. Kirk looks around and prepares to make an audio entry in the captain's log. Members of his crew are slightly shaken. Some of them are fallen on the floor and picking themselves up. The atmosphere is one marked with minor irritation, yet calm and businesslike and very efficient.
Captain's log, stardate 3113.2. We were en route to Starbase 9 for resupply when a black star of high gravitational attraction began to drag us toward it. It required all warp power in reverse to pull us away from the star. But this action has resulted us flying across through space and time, out of control, to stop here, wherever we are. Mr. Spock, please give me an update.
Except for secondary systems, everything is out, sir. We are on impulse power only.
Auxiliaries?
If Mr. Scott is still with us, auxiliaries should be powering on momentarily.
Enterprise, this is the captain speaking from the bridge. I want damage control parties on all decks to check in. I want all departments to tie in with the record computer. Please report casualties and operational readiness to the first officer. Kirk out. Lieutenant Uhura, contact Starfleet Control. I want them alerted to the position of that black star that's in the area of Starbase 9.
Captain, casualty reports indicate only minor injuries. Engineering team reports the warp engines are non-operational. Mr. Scott has shifted us to manual settings and is holding us up in the orbit.
Holding us up in orbit? Where?
Earth, Captain. We are orbiting planet Earth.
Computer, throw up a visual on the main screen.
At the captain's word, the computer flashes a full view of North America on screen. Clouds are gently floating in the sky, birds are flying. Beneath there is a bustling city, cars, buses, and other vehicles are flying about. It is just another day on planet Earth.
We are too low in the atmosphere to retain this orbit, Captain. Engineering reports that we have sufficient impulse power to achieve escape velocity.
Give us some altitude. We'll need to fly out before causing any damage.
Captain, normal Starfleet channel has nothing but static. I'm getting something on another frequency, but it's not Starfleet.
Put it on audio.
The new audio frequency that Mr. Spock tunes in happens to be a radio news station. A news bulletin sounds across the bridge. This is the 5:30 news summary. Our reporters are present on location and reporting live from Cape Kennedy. The first manned moonshot is scheduled for today, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All three astronauts, Armstrong, Eldrin, and Collins, are all set to travel on this historical mission to the moon. This is a great day for humanity as we step into outer space.
Manned moonshot? That was in the late 1960s.
Apparently, so are we, Captain.
What?
The whiplash from the black star propelled us into a time warp, Captain. We traveled backward in time. I'll have the exact readings up in a few moments. I'm also getting ground-to-air transmission of some kind. Our scanners report some type of aircraft approaching us from below. It's 6,000 feet below us, under cloud cover and closing.
The jet fighter zooms closer and closer to the Enterprise. Manning the jet fighter is Captain John Christopher, determined to catch up and bring down the UFO.
Blue 4, this is Balya. We are tracking you and the UFO.
My bad. I have them on my screen. I'm following the bogey.
We go back to the bridge on the Enterprise, where the captain prepares to take evasive action.
Mr. Spock, please convey to engineering to divert full power to acceleration. Maintain shields at 80% capacity and brace for impact if we are fired upon.
Message relayed, Captain.
Meanwhile, Captain Christopher is in full pursuit. He wants to bring down the spacecraft by all means necessary. He wants to see what technology they use. He wants to see what aliens look like. He wants to know their motive for coming to Earth.
Blackjack, this is Blue Jay 4. The UFO is picking up speed and I'm climbing. I'm going in closer. Yes, I can see it now. Whatever this is, it's huge. Really huge. Much larger than my aircraft and perhaps more powerful. The UFO won't be here. It's climbing away fast. I'm giving chase.
Your best knows the UFO. We were UFO brought down, but at least saved until the other planes arrive.
Acknowledged. Closing in on target.
Meanwhile, on the bridge, Captain and Mr. Spock take stock of the situation.
Fascinating. The aircraft is an interceptor, equipped with missiles, possibly armed with nuclear warheads. If he hits us with one, he might damage us severely, perhaps beyond our capacity to repair under current circumstances.
Mr. Spock, activate the tractor beam. Lock onto that aircraft and hold it out there.
Illogical, Captain. I'd advise caution. This type of aircraft might be too fragile to take our tractor beam.
Noted, Mr. Spock. Keep the beam at 10% and see how it holds. I'd hate to cause damage, but it's our ship or theirs.
Tractor beam on, sir. We have the target. The aircraft is breaking up, Captain.
Transporter room. Log onto the cockpit of that aircraft. Try and beam that pilot aboard. Take over, Mr. Spock.
Fighter pilot Captain John Christopher is beamed on board the Enterprise. He looks around him in the transporter room. He's alarmed, but maintains his composure. He's not sure what emotion he feels more, curiosity or fear. He has beamed on board a UFO, and these people look like humans.
Welcome aboard the Enterprise.
You speak English?
That's right. You can step off the transporter.
Captain John Christopher, United States Air Force, serial number 4857932.
Relax, Captain. You're among friends. I'm Captain James T. Kirk.
Captain Christopher is slightly annoyed. He expected to see aliens on the spaceship, but all he sees is another human being. Is this some kind of fraud?
What's going on here? Where am I? What happened? You people? Who are you?
All in good time, Captain. Meanwhile, let me apologize for bringing you aboard the ship so abruptly, but it couldn't be helped. I didn't know that your craft couldn't stand up to our tractor beam.
Don't give me any double talk. Just tell me who you are.
We'll tell you what we decide to tell you in a few moments. In the meantime, relax. You're our guest. I have a feeling you'll find it interesting here.
Bridge to Captain Kirk.
What is it, Mr. Spock?
The aircraft has completely broken up, Captain. Shall we turn off the tractor beam?
Affirmative. We have the pilot aboard. I'll be right up. Kirk out. Follow me, Captain Christopher.
And on that note, we end this short episode. What happens to Captain Christopher? Or what happens to the Enterprise now that it has been discovered by humans? To know all that and more, wait for another episode. Over and out.
Over and out.
Over and out.
Thank you.
Back
Thank
to
you
the
very
TMOD.
much. That was indeed a very entertaining, one of a kind, one act play that I have seen in quite some time. Without further ado, let's proceed to the next segment of today's meeting. And the next segment is Vignettes. Vignettes will be hosted by our very own Toastmaster, Muhammad Asghar. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the morning. I was so engrossed in the captain and the actresses. Let me find myself where I am. Okay. Well done, all actors. We are now in table topic sessions. I am the table topic master, Toastmaster Asghar. Table topic session. Table topic is all about the aim of table topic is to develop the skills of impromptu speaking and to quickly organize and express your thought on the spot. And let me find out some guests as a keeping the broad parameter of Toastmaster and Weave. I will try to invite participants who are not participating in other segment of the program. So let me start from a Toastmaster, an experienced Toastmaster. I don't know if Arti Bender is still there. I can't see. I will trying to read his name. If Arti is there, I would like to start from Arti Bender.
Hi.
Oh, thank you. Thank you to join me. So, dear table topic speakers, I will try to come up with a saying, an idiom, which I've tried in my meeting last time, and I'm doing it again. You are supposed to speak against the wisdom of the idiom or the saying that I am telling you. So, here, Arti, time is a great healer.
Dear folks, you must have all heard this time and again. One small thing goes wrong in your life, and the entire world is pouncing on you. Time will heal everything. Time fixes everything. It'll get better with time. Don't worry. Time will take care of it. And after a while, when that doesn't happen, you really start questioning where things went wrong. I know I found myself gaslighting myself over this concept. So, just a quick story. In 2020, the year of COVID, it was a very difficult time for a lot of us. A lot of us lost our friends and family, and during that time, even I lost someone very close to me. The grief, the pain. I haven't experienced anything that could parallel to that experience ever before or ever after in my life. And the only thing I kept hearing over and over again from all well-meaning folks was, time will heal you. Time will take care of you. I started counting my days. Days went by. I was just staring at my wall clock. Tick tock, tick tock. Every second, every day, every hour, I kept waiting for time to do its magic. That's it. This is when time will come. Time will shine its light on me, and things won't be so sad anymore. It won't feel so sad in here anymore. Maybe I won't feel that hollow inside me anymore. And guess what? It never happened. I went through episodes and episodes of Friends, and I didn't laugh for an entire year. But yet, nothing happened. It was only then that I realized that time only heals you when you are committed to healing yourself. Time does help you get over your wounds, but nothing works until you decide that something has to change. So if you are in that position today, whatever or however it may be, I hope that you realize that the miracle you're looking for is you. You can heal yourself. You've got this. Thank you. Over to you.
Time only takes care. The next speaker will be Rashmi P. if she is there. Rashmi, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. For you, the topic is knowledge is power.
Okay. Knowledge is power. Takes me back to the Game of Thrones scene where he says knowledge is power, but the queen rightly says power is power. Okay, enough of talking as a fan of Game of Thrones. Coming to the topic, knowledge is power. Of course, knowledge is power. But what kind of power are we talking about here? And what kind of knowledge are we talking about? So let me start with a quick small example when we say knowledge is power. How does knowledge help you? It's a great armor for you. So I'll talk about the example that I was stating. I come from a very typical middle class family where you have to prove yourself. You have to prove that yes, you're good enough. Yes, you have that capability where you can fly to a different state and stay by yourself. How does that help you? So when I started my education, education was that power for me. That kind of knowledge that yes, I can pass an exam, clear it, and get into one of the prestigious institutes, that increased my parents' trust in me. So that way, knowledge became my power. In another instance, where I wanted to learn driving a bike, and I wanted a very nice bike, and my dad was like, no, you know how to drive scooty, you can drive a car, but bike is a big no. And how do I convince my father then? I said, okay, just get me a second-hand Splendor. I will drive that. I will ride that bike. You can sit with me and we can go on a long ride. And if you have that trust in me, then please go ahead and get me another bike. So that's when my dad also got interested. He taught me all the parts of the bikes, how to ride it, what to do if something breaks down. And we went on a very long drive, me and my dad. I think the knowledge of exactly understanding how the bike operates, knowledge of driving a bike, riding a bike, really helped me a lot. And then I realized it was not just gaining the trust of my father, but it was more of, it brought a confidence in myself that yes, Rashmi, you can do it. You can ride a bike, you can go and stay in a different state, although none of your family members have ever had to do that. Yes, you can clear this exam. Yes, you can do more in your life and you can push the limits. So that's my take on when it comes to this quote, that knowledge is power. It really empowers yourself to go beyond what you thought you can do. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you. Thank you for proving that knowledge does not have power. I'm keeping away my books and I want you to stop reading as well. Now, I need some gender disparity. Let me call someone from my own tribe. Um, Toastmaster Obed, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you. Thank you for honoring me. Had you not been there, I had no
The
choice
pleasure
but
is
to
all
call
mine.
someone
Pleasure is
from.
all mine.
Okay.
Ji.
So, for you, my topic is honesty is the best policy.
Honesty is the best. How much time do I have in table topics? Because I've seen people speaking at length.
2.5 at maximum, I
Two and a
think.
half.
Minimum 2 minutes
Okay,
is the
the same
ideal. 2
procedure.
minutes 30 is yeah.
All right. All right. Honesty is the best policy. How many of you would agree to it? With a show of your hand. Well, let me have a difference of opinion here. I don't agree to it at all. Because in my past experiences, I have seen worst case scenarios by adopting honesty. Yes, to some extent, we can go with that. However, to my personal experience, honesty boomeranged on me quite in a negative manner. I've seen in my company where I used to work first, once my boss talked to me and he just asked his opinion about his performance to me, about how do I work. See, I'm a very hardworking guy. And there I honestly said, sir, I beg to differ. I've never seen even you lifting a finger. You just delegate the things and you just ask us, you just beat us, you just beat our back down and you just take the credit. See, this was the honesty that I adopted, and what I was given a demotion. Secondly, in my family affairs, like if you talk about family, I was in the family gathering and I sat with one of my remote cousin, and once he said to me, see, look at my dressing, how do I look? Am I not looking good? I said, the color doesn't suit you at all. You look awful in this shirt. And this was not the occasion you were wearing this dress combo. This doesn't fit at all. And what honesty, paid me back with the hostility. I was even like the whole family of him boycotted me in that particular program. So to my experience so far, honesty is something that I've always paid price for. And I always avoid thinking first, then I perform the honesty. You have to be very extra cautious and vigilant about your own honesty as well. That's what my experience is. Thank you very much. Over to you, the table topic master.
Thank you, Obed. Remember, I was the only one who did not raise my hand when you asked me whether honesty is the best policy.
Me too. I think he brought it down on himself.
Okay. Okay, so my next speaker is Omar Farooq, if he is around.
Yes, I am available, sir.
Okay, can you speak with us?
Yes, why not? I am Toastmaster Akbar Farooq from ICAP Toastmaster Club.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Thank you, Toastmaster, for joining us. The topic for you is there is a safety in number.
Repeat again, please.
There is a safety in number.
There is safety in numbers. There is safety in numbers.
Okay, safety in numbers. Yes, safety is very important in our lives, because if we are doing something without safety, it's not something that is with the safety. So I think it's very compulsory to take safety measures in our life so that we can do everything in our life with proper safety and measures also. So there is a lot of benefit of safety in our, as a human being, we are full of wisdom and knowledge. So we should apply for in the purpose of safety. So safety is very compulsory in our lives. So we should adopt safety measures whenever we require there. I think I have sufficient time and I have delivered all the views regarding this safety. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Omar, for speaking about the safety. You spoke well and you took your time. Do we have a time for another or a couple of guests? President?
We can have one last. Toastmaster Srijita has raised her hands, and so has Toastmaster Aditya. You can choose between one of them.
Sorry?
Toastmaster Srijita has raised her hands.
Srijita, are you there? You want to speak with us? Oh, yes. Yeah.
and the topics are so fascinating. I could not resist from
Okay, okay, but I'm okay. So for you, the topic is beauty is the eyes of beholder.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. But does it? We live in a world of pageants, of movies, of TV shows, where there is a very fixed, static, rigid template of beauty for all genders, all age groups, and all social groups. What defines beauty? Fair skin, long hair, a thin body? Is that all? Is that what beauty essentially is? The question here is that most eyes of beholders in this world have been conditioned and plagued with the notion that beauty is the set typecast of tick, 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 tick ticked boxes, where if you tick a certain number of boxes, you are beautiful. If you don't tick a certain number of boxes, sorry, we reject you. And this phenomenon drives the practice of so much low self-worth, the prevalence of so much self-doubt, because no one can confidently believe that they are beautiful. No one can stand in front of a group of people and even think that they are beautiful. But I would like to tell you that this static, rigid list should not guide your life. Beauty may or may not be in the eyes of the beholder, but beauty is pervasive. Beauty is subjective. And beauty is something that is innate rather than outward. And I would like to tell you, you are beautiful. How many of you can say this with me? I am beautiful. Please say it with me. I am beautiful.
I am beautiful.
I am beautiful.
Perfect. Thank you. Over to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, thank you. I just said I am a beautiful toast. DTM Talab and Ahmed send me a message that you are not. I mean, this is the limit of what should I do? So with this, I would like to end this session, this rather interesting session, in the interest of time, and would like to invite Toastmaster of the day, Aditya, to take charge. Thank you very
Thank
much
you
being
very
with me.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Muhammad Asghar. It's time for us to now proceed to the next section of today's meeting, and that is Let's Word It Recital. This is when the extempore writing presentations are going to be put up, and we are going to find out how our speakers are going to fare. And for that, I would like to again welcome Toastmaster Nazia Ali Akbar on stage. Over to you.
Right. Hello, everyone. So we had 4 participants there, those who opted to be there for the segment, Let's Word It. And first of all, I would like to invite Talha bin Hamid, Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid, and I would like to listen that which of the topic he has selected, he's going to share his thoughts upon.
Yeah. I have selected Poetry of the Earth is Never Dead. Okay. And, so I'll just share something. Stay with me for a few seconds. Yeah. Okay. All right. me just pull up what I've written. Yeah, okay. They call it a barren waste. In the heat of July, it is hard to dispute that. The relentless sun, 5,000 feet closer versus sea level, bearing down through an atmosphere devoid of cloud or pollutants. Clouds aren't there because notice the home province of my hometown, Quetta, is essentially a desert. Pollutants aren't there because there's not potent enough harbor, enough industry or economic activity. The grey, stark mountains around the city with no hint of green. Between them, like a weathered and a stunningly insipid range of various shades of dust, there are little plumes of what looks like smoke rising here and there, for a moment looking at reveal and fairy tale like, until one realizes that they are actually little tornadoes resulting from the complicated gyrations of hot air, as it wonders if there's a place anywhere, any place else to go. As one walks the streets, parched textures of one's throat mirrors the baking pebbles strewn atop the melting asphalt. There is no sweat because it is too dry for sweating. Thank God for small things. And yet, the stony mountains, the spotless sky, the aggressive lack of vegetation, all represent a blank canvas where the beauty of the human generosity and resilience can take center stage, where 1,000 years of history can echo in all the skin shades and dialects that one can hear, in the food and utensils that one can find in the bustling bazaars that draw all the goodness from Central Asia, Middle East, Indian subcontinent. And there is time, the relentless agent of change. The sun starts to set, lending the mountain tops a golden glow. Once darkness sets, and the mountains are lit by a moon unimpeded by cloud or smoke. The stars shine bright in the spotless sky because, yes, we are 5,000 feet closer to them. In winters, the snow caps on the mountains become diamonds. The chilly air has a mysterious romance that permeates everything around. At night, Meta is not a city, but a gateway to far galaxies, a hub of several planes of existence, a tesseract at the crux of several space-time continuums, a visual symphony that never fades, never ends. It is a poem recited by the invisible gears of existence. Its cadence is in sync with the orbit of the planets, its rhythm informed by something lurking just beyond the conscious. Look around, listen, search within and without. Poetry of the earth never stops, never takes a breath, and with unwavering zeal and pizzazz, never ceases to inspire, wonder, and awe. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Talha, for sharing definitely your very precious views. But I would like to extend my extreme sorry over here because it was a power shutdown problem and my laptop wasn't working. I have just restarted it, managing some other options at my home. So extremely sorry about that. I can't give any comments to it. That is all true for my side. So if anyone else, some of you, one of you, Toastmaster Cyril or Toastmaster of the Day, would like to express their views on his sharing, though I have had listened to him already in past, and I think he's one of those Toastmasters whose ideas are more than precious always, and the words are right from his very much creative world. So I don't have any doubt that there would be even less than that. I'm sure the standard would have been set up even higher than all those things he has shared previously. But what was true from my side, I have shared that. I'm sorry about it, everyone. So, Toastmaster Cyril, would you like to say something over here about it?
Well, I can say that I fully agree with whatever you said. TBH did not disappoint as usual. I do not know how he gets the visual as well while he speaks and he writes. And in the interest of time, let's keep it rolling. We'll give a feedback individually to all the speakers.
Okay, all right. So let's welcome our next Let's Word It participant this time, Toastmaster Srijita, if I'm pronouncing the name correctly. Toastmaster Srijita, I would love to listen to the topic you have chosen from the two given to you.
The topic I have chosen is the poetry of the earth is never dead, but there is a twist somewhere in between, and it will not jump at you, but just stay tuned. So, God, I'm so nervous. A latent seed, a roosting ferret, a resting, hibernating, decompressing badger. A sight of nature resting is an illusion of death. The spot of a corpse is a feast for microbes. Where we see death, nature sees life. There is a song in existing and living, and it changes pitch and volume and tune, and yet remains unchanging and relentless. When nature rests, the song lulls, lilts, and ripples over the surface. Barely any can see it. And when nature seems dead, it is this seeming death that forms the womb that conceives, incubates, and gestates life. All rest looks like death. When you stop in the middle of a race to breathe, there will be onlookers assuming you've given up. And there will be onlookers assuming even worse. But the life in you, the nature in you, and the song in you knows better. Dances better. And there are those who will call your latency death. And there are those who have the wisdom to know that stopping is a part of the journey. Every time a forest sheds its leaves and becomes a group of wooden skeletons, it is just a matter of time. A matter of a few notes in the unending song of nature and just a few keys pressed on nature's piano. And rest, a pause, a gestation period in a creative phase, all illusions of death are testimonies of life. After every shock of death, we come to life, come back to battle, and become the person in the arena, because hope is what revives us. All latent ability, all resting life, is one hope away from manifesting in front of you. And this waking dream, this endless song, and this energy made living from latent by the miracle of believing is what defines life. Life lives and sings because it hopes. Bill Bryson writes in A Short History of Nearly Everything, life sustains because it wants to live. This is hope. The dream that will bring you to life, wake you up, lead you on, and then lull you to sleep, make you rest, roost, and refill when you need to. When they say something is dead, or you are done, the answer is the same. It is just a matter of time, change, and hope. And the poem of life is just writing the next line. Dream till you wake, sing till you live, and dance till you last, with pizzazz.
Well, Srijita, I think you didn't need to be nervous at all. Because deep down in your heart, you know that you're going to share such a beautiful, comprehensive poetic prose with us. And you just cover, I think, everything in it. But before sharing these two topics today with all the Toastmasters, I already had something in the back of my mind that one way or the other, both the topics that poetry of the earth is never dead and hope is the dream of a waking man, they have quite much affinity. You know, there is an affinity, and the main or the central idea, in fact, is the hope that always lives with us. And the way you blended it, the way you brought it up with your beautifully beaded words, I think it took us all to some time with a tree that is shedding leaf, maybe the other time I was feeling myself flowing along with the ripples of a river or a stream. So such a mind-blowing description, out of the world, I think, greatly metaphorical. So my high appreciation goes for you, right? So with that, let's invite our third contestant, not contestant, I'm sorry. I mean, our next Toastmaster, Toastmaster Sangeeta, if she's around. We'd love to listen from you. And please share the
Thank you,
topic you
Toastmaster
have.
Nazia.
Share the topic you have selected.
Oh, as everybody else, I have selected the poetry of the earth is never dead. That
Love
seems to be
it.
the hit today.
Please.
Do let me know when I can start. Sorry, I'm a
Yes,
little
please.
clueless.
Yeah,
Whenever
please
you're
start.
ready,
Start.
I'll start the
We are
timer.
anxiously
Explain
waiting.
this screen.
Okay. Toastmasters, friends, namaskar. I'm Sangeeta Shruti. And I invite you to float high up with me. Let's float high up, zoom out, and see the earth with a bird's view. Look down and see there rivers gushing and rushing down their paths, carrying life within them, carrying life with them, giving life wherever they go. That seems to be their song, the song of a mother, a song that says, I give all I have, all the time. Let's fly on and see. Hey, a desert, the proudest form of nature. Nature which tells you that nothing, and I mean nothing, will grow unless I give permission. Nature which seems to tell you that if I choose, I can be as unyielding as only I can be. The tones of warning very clear in these tones. Look around you, Toastmasters. Look at the clouds we are among, light and fluffy, not bothered where they are, not bothered how they look to you, not bothered why they are there, not bothered which waters created them, just floating around with pizzazz, seeming to sing, I'm alive. Then again, hey there, rocks of the earth, strong, spectacular. A poetry in endurance, a poetry in patience, a poetry that seems to chant, nothing can shatter you unless you permit it. And nothing can ever shatter you if you don't permit it to. Strength of nature seems to be this song. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, look there. Storms, chaos, floods, cyclone. Strong, anything but calm. Destruction raging untamed. Untamed, even the giver of life will destroy, seems to say nature's song. Of the wild and powerful, the song of the untamed becomes song of the destruction, maybe. Hey, wait. Did you hear? If you listen closely, you will hear the song also seems to say, this also shall pass. Nothing lasts, not the good, definitely not the bad. No matter where, no matter what, no matter which form or what lesson, the poetry of earth is never dead. What say? Toastmaster Nazia?
Beautiful. My high appreciation for you. And I didn't know that today I'm just sitting amongst, constellation of poets all around. Or maybe it's just the depth or the profundity of this very theme, nature, that whenever it's there, we all tend to be poets, maybe. The music inside our heart, it just comes out, and we just believe that the wind, the clouds, the rain, they all are just playing music in our ears, and the life is all beautiful. So you were definitely so good, so impressive with the selection of words, vocabulary, and the comprehension of this idea, the way you took it up and you delivered it to us throughout. So effective use of words. Definitely, that was great. But I would like to appreciate your piece of writing for its being really majestic, that you hinted one very important point, and that is about ups and downs in life and how the phenomena of nature signify that ups and downs of life, the vicissitudes. At some point, we all are elated, we all are thankful, we are delighted, and the very next moment, that delight may transform into a very tough phase, maybe some adversity, maybe a tragedy we all have to get through. So that twist you developed in your work with the message of nature, with the phenomena of nature, that was really very impressive. I would appreciate your work for that too. Thank you for being there. And let's have our last participant, Toastmaster Saneha. Let's listen to her. Let's welcome her.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Nazia. So I too am sold for the topic, but mine is a personal essay. So I'll just read that out to you.
Yeah, sure.
The refrigerator was unplugged from the wall receptacle. The milk, emptied from the stainless steel pots, had its cream scraped and stored in a dabba, ready to be handed over the common wall to Varma auntie, our immediate neighbor, who would transform it into ghee before our return. We locked up meticulously, rooms, screen door at the top of the grey mosaic steps, and finally the main gate. The link padlock, our annual summer companion, threaded through black iron circles securing our absence. It greeted pedestrians on our street every year in May. 5 of us, me, my sister, mother, father, and my uncle, father's younger brother, squeezed into our Maruti 800 for the 350-kilometer journey to my Nani house in Malegaon, Nashik district. It was the 1990s, and ahead lay a day of shimmering concrete roads where our faithful car's radiator would protest against the May heat. At 6 a.m., as father completed his Ganesh Vandana, my uncle flipped the Hanuman Chalisa cassette to side 2. The sky still held onto its ink, while Indore's AB road stretched empty, save for occasional milkmen, their bicycles balanced by heavy cans on either side. Soon we entered Mahu, where we halt to eat poha and stretch our muscles. By then, the incensed sun of May blazed overhead. Packed back into the car, we watched village lanes and fields flick past. My uncle asked us to put on our favorite songs, and my sister and I rummaged through the glove compartment stocked with audio cassettes. I wondered how they were the same songs every time. Tracks from the films Rosa, Machis, along with old Kishore Kumar numbers that Papa and my uncle had purchased during their college days. To make the 8-hour drive more entertaining, we read out messages behind trucks, laughing and playfully annoying our parents. When the ghats or mountain passes approach, Bheru and Bijasan, we were shushed again as our car swirled around mountain curves to reach our beloved Nani house. We imagined what else we might need for a wonderful life. These were the scintillating 1990s, the years of our growing up. My sister and I had waited all year for this summer pilgrimage to our maternal grandmother's place. For us girls, who knew no better playground than home and school, her house was our only camping-like experience, a tradition we maintained until college. As John Keats once wrote, the poetry of the earth is never dead, and nowhere was this more true than in those magical summers. Our Nani's house was a living poem, breathing with memories, traditions, and the gentle rhythms of rural life. Each corner held a story, each room a whisper of generations past. Though time has transformed that beloved space, my grandmother gone, the house renovated, My grandmother now watching over us from a framed photograph, the essence remains. More than the physical space, it was the mystery of that place and its people that will forever dance in my memory. I wish my children would witness live the Nani house of my childhood, so vivid in my recollections. But I'm grateful that they listen to its stories so fondly. Stories, after all, set us free in worlds of imagination, independent of reality, worlds no wall can ever enclose. Perhaps, through their own splendid imagination, as my words enter their patient ears, they will paint an even more magical version of my cherished Nani house. Thank you so much. Back to you.
It's bombastic. Great. And you took me back to my Nani's house, actually. And for a couple of seconds, I felt like I am there in my Nani's house. And the beautiful village, I mean, the trees and all those beautiful keepings in my Nani's house. In fact, I was just reliving those moments. Thank you very much for sharing. And I think you unfolded another very important dimension that is very much close to this meaning of nature. And that is we all, human beings, our culture. We live on this earth, we belong to it. And certainly our traditions, the rites, the rituals, the conventions, whatever we share here, this earth is in fact witnessing that all. And this nature is maybe preserving all these moments when we spend our time in our culture, with our traditions, when we live with our very much conventions over here, practicing all these things, in fact, visiting our relatives, enjoying all those family get-togethers, celebrating all the events, all the festivals we have. So nature is witnessing that all. The earth is witnessing that all. Thank you very much for sharing this masterpiece with us. It was love listening to you. Thank you. That was all. We had all the Toastmasters with us today. And believe me, I have no words, in fact, to share the delight and pleasure, because this topic was always very much closer to my heart, that the poetry of earth is never dead. And the way everyone has deciphered their thoughts on it, delivered their out of the world, beautiful, sublime ideas on it, I have no words to say thanks to everyone for such an active and dynamic and so unique participation by sharing the beautiful masterpieces. Thank you very much, everyone. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Nazia Ali. Most of the changes that we build, that we intend to bring in our lives, are not successfully sustained because we don't track them, we don't monitor them. So, the next time you bring change in your lives, have goals. Goals that are challenging, goals that are time bound and measurable, and track these goals. Track how you are performing. Track your plan versus actual. Goals are tracked even in a Toastmasters meeting. That's why we have a general evaluator giving constructive and specific feedback on what was planned and what was delivered. For this task, I would like to open the appraisal segment, and for that, I would like to welcome the general evaluator to host the appraisal segment of the meeting. Please help me welcome distinguished Toastmaster Vamsi Krishna. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. Apologies for not owning the cam. I had a power cut here all of a sudden. Yeah, with this wonderful pizzazz moment, I am missing owning the cam over here. But let's dwell into our story. And yes, I am the appraisal boss. It's time for your appraisals today. I don't know whether you will get appraisal or not in your company, but definitely you are going to get something from me. So let's move ahead with our team which we have today. Whom should I call first? Audience, whom you are waiting for? Well, let me call my language evaluator for today's meeting. Or should I call maybe the timer who is seriously watching and telling me we are behind the schedule, Vamsi, and you have to wrap up fast? No. Let them wait for a little bit and call The evaluator for today's meeting, Toastmaster Norman Abbott.
Unfortunately, Toastmaster Numan had to drop out. He's in a hilly region. Network wasn't supportive.
Okay,
He shall be giving
understood, Cyril.
feedback directly to Toastmaster Sneha.
No worries. All right then, we'll move ahead with the language evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Talbin Ahmed.
Thank you so much. So lots of things to note today. I'll just try to go through it as quickly as I can. First, the good usage, and surely I haven't captured 100%, just captured what I could. Love for literature on its sleeves, Tokyo or Timbuktu, always love that. Voracious, soul-stirring, left, right, and center, and someone added up and down to it. So that made it properly three-dimensional. Loved it. Quite glad, undeniable. Someone said by hearted. That was a curious usage. That's the first time I've heard this used as a word, but somehow it was curiously catchy and attractive. Testing our patience. Uh, Someone in a speech said stuffed, jabbing, the cloud of black smoke, and all of that added to the tone of the speech. We actually saw the situation through these words. Well done. Anger melted and acceptance seeped in. Just roll it around your mind and realize how poetic that is. Anger melted and acceptance seeped in. So engrossed, let me find myself. Someone of my own tribe, beauty is pervasive, lulls, lilts, and ripples, conceives, incubates, and gestates. The song in you knows better, dances better. Life lives and sings because it hopes. That's perhaps my favorite sentence of the day. Float high up with me, protest against the May heat, the sky still held on to the sink, rummage through the glove compartment, scintillating 1990s. Amen to that. Now, a few grammatical, I won't say errors because hardly anyone erred in word-wise, but perhaps few improvement ideas. Someone said change your perspective about change. So one of, I think the word could have been alter your perspective about change because change is already part of the sentence. Genuine reasons, actually. I think genuine and actually are redundant here. One of the words would have sufficed. Inspires and triggers. Again, I'm guilty of this myself. I tend to use multiple words to say the same thing, but perhaps we could avoid that. Someone said early in the morning. Morning is already early. Keeping away my books should have been putting away my books. Someone said beauty is subjective, and they were actually meant to contradict the table topic, which was beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But unfortunately, beauty is subjective is exactly another way of saying beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And someone said few keys on nature's piano. Now, of course, this was a highly, highly creative composition, but perhaps, and again, this is just an idea, keys and piano disconnect somewhat. Piano is something somehow too modern. Perhaps few strings on the divine violin could have been a better composition. But again, that's just my opinion. Over to you, Mr. General Evaluator. And sorry, word of the day was used by myself, Srijita, and Sangeeta. Apologies if I missed anyone. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Now let me call the timer, Toastmaster Cyril Paul.
All the speakers were on time in terms of prepared speeches and Let's Word It segment. In table topics or vignettes, as we call them, Toastmaster Rashmi went beyond timeline by about 25 seconds. Apart from that, we are well within timelines. In terms of meeting progress, we are currently within timelines. We have 5 more minutes to complete the general evaluation segment. Please feel free to extend it if you need to. Back to you, gentlemen.
Thank you so much. Now let me call the table topics evaluator, Toastmaster Meher Tanveer, to give her evaluation.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Vamsi. As soon as the table topics started, the vignettes, I suddenly remembered that I was the table topics evaluator. And thank goodness that I did. And I jumped in just when I did. But they were so interesting and so catchy and so endearing that I really had to fight hard to pay attention to the evaluation as well as just, listen as an audience member. So starting from the top, Toastmaster Aarti, starting with A. Where are you, Toastmaster Aarti? There you are. Okay. Yeah. Talk about starting with a bang. I mean, what an exemplary way to organize your thoughts clearly. I just want to offer one suggestion that you can take 10 seconds to think about your topic before starting off. It will give you a little bit more time to organize your thoughts if you need to. However, I really am amazed at how quickly you put everything together in your mind, and then you just started talking and delivering and offering your thoughts. Your delivery was filled with beautiful ideas and a very relevant and powerful example of the trying times of COVID-19. Well done, where we did need time to heal from the grief of those years. Do share more. In my opinion, in my suggestion, I would suggest you do share more about what happened during that time to build the emotional connection with the audience. I would like to suggest sad and anxious facial expressions to match your feelings when you were talking about that time. A bit more on the efforts you made to overcome the grief, the actual tasks or activities that you undertook, and what finally worked when you realized that you have to decide to heal. That was a very powerful quote, and it just needed an example, in my opinion, to round it up nicely. Great job. You're a natural speaker. Well done. Great to have you. Toastmaster Rashmi. Ah, yes. An amazing beginning with a quote, which was powerful and humorous from popular television, Game of Thrones, no less. Talk about getting the attention of the audience. Well done. You then went on to relate that quote to your own life. Excellent. And spoke to many people in the audience, mentioning the social cultural phenomena of the very industrious middle class. And I also related to that. I loved how you carried on with your thought process, including the efforts of learning to ride a bike. I would like to suggest if you could also write about examples from your parents' lives or friends or family friends or your own, where the effort to gain success connects back to the earlier idea of the middle class grind, and then utilize callback by coming back to your first quote of how power is power, or rather than knowledge being power, either to prove it in a humorous way or in a poignant way, in a poignant twist to disprove it. Amazing attempt. Thank you so much. Toastmaster Obaid Bilkrami, a great way to start your topic with a question to the audience, and then offering a twist by offering the very opposite of what everyone was expecting. Although Sumaya and Toastmaster Asghar were your allies very much there, and you could have included them in your conclusion, I loved how you went on to offer humorous examples of how honesty did not serve you. Well done in capturing the audience's attention, also speaking out loud what was in our hearts, and due to political correctness, we sometimes don't say, and offering the sentimental logic to back up your proposition. I would like to suggest playing the devil's advocate and offering a character in reverse as well, and offering a character or story that seems to support the other side, that honesty is the best policy, the expected adage of valuing honesty. In this way, but then again, descending back into that dark tunnel of reality and the dire consequences of telling the truth point blank. So in this way, you would be taking the audience into what would seem like a nice digression into stability and something serious and noble, and you'll be bringing us into a different set of emotions, only to come back to your original humorous take and support your original proposition, but now in a much firmer way. All right, that's just my personal suggestion. All right, Toastmaster Omar Farooq, very decent attempt. You offered an opinion right away, love that, and stuck to your guns throughout your delivery. Rhetorical repetition, great. I'd like to suggest illustrating your ideas with a fully illustrated story using descriptive vocabulary. This will build your argument and your connection to the audience to a climax, and then offering a well-rounded conclusion that either proves or disproves the topic as you please. Toastmaster Shirijita, a timeless topic that could have easily boxed any speaker into a cliched answer. But I absolutely loved your descriptive delivery. You surprised us all as always. Your surprise package always, and showcasing your powerful thoughts and observations. You touched upon the materialistic concepts and approach of the current era and how it can blur and mangle concepts of self-esteem, self-worth, and understanding our own personal beauty. It was a very powerful conclusion where you reached out to the audience for a collective self-affirmation and hit your point home. The only suggestion I can offer and come up with is that perhaps connect the impact of the times to a personal story, perhaps to a friend, if not yourself, to offer both the bird's eye view and an offering of how it impacts us very, very personally. So in NLP terms, you would call it Milton and meta, anybody who's done NLP here. So lastly, to the table topic master, Toastmaster Asghar, applaud the choice of your topics. I would like to suggest do mention the time once before you start your session, and also mention the word of the day for the benefit of the table topic speakers. A session filled with pizzazz. Well done to all of you. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Meher. All right, let me jump into my appraisal segment. Starting with the Toastmaster Cyril, kudos to you, fabulous job over there with the elements you brought onto the plate. Only one suggestion I would like to give you over there is try to say something related to maybe Toastmasters or maybe your club as a highlight. Maybe like something we achieved before, if it is something relevant to your club, or if you are going with a natural approach, then go for things that are related to Toastmasters or maybe the organization. Like you said, it is 100 years organization, other kind of things. Maybe some sort of thing, like for example, if I am new, organization maybe 5 years or 100 years is okay, that's a big number. But what it is in for me, why 100 years? So some sort of a thing that makes me look up to, hey, why not a Toastmasters? You have to implant that idea into the guest itself. Why not? Because every one of us will step at one point of time into Toastmasters to learn. Why not now? That idea implantation makes the turn of the things. That's the only improvement or suggestion I would say. Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Aditya, very interactive, lots and lots of information you have thrown on us. I would say one thing I would say is when there are certain kind of things that you want audience to remember because it's too much of an information, keep it in the chat window. I see a couple of people already noted down and they kept in chat window, but you implanting, which is reinstating the same thing, the moment you do it, you are making them to understand this is important. So make sure when there are certain kind of turns or things which you want to reinstate, keep it in the chat window. That will help the audience to more hook up to what you are insisting there. Then coming to language evaluator, I don't see anything over there. He's like the flawless person over here. Went with the excellent flow and a little bit angry on you because you used pizzas. Now I am getting hungry with for carving for pizza. Okay, excellent choice, good choice of words over there. I mean, who would thought of maybe there is certain kind of a word over there. One thing I would say to make people more fascinating of using the words, keep two words rather than one. One is like a very common kind of a word like vibrancy, maybe amicable, amiable, these kind of a words which will make them to use a little bit so that they will push something new to add to their already predefined scripts or ideology to add something today. That's the only thing. Then, wow, there were a lot of things over here. Toastmaster Nazia, wonderful job over there and excellent. No, the way you made this kind of an event into turning, it's not about regular Toastmasters anymore. It's something advanced we are looking up, and there you kept up this kind of a thing that no one expects all of a sudden and engraving on it. Fabulous job. Coming to speaker, Toastmaster Sneha, I won't give you much of a thing here because already your evaluator is there to cover up everything on that aspect. One thing I would say is when you are aiming for something of a level and that kind, make it of more like a storytelling or the expressions. Means taking pause and getting a little bit more of expression where you want to end or insist there. Like for example, see the dog. Generally, we say see the dog. Means you are insisting because it is of a big, it maybe has a sharper teeth or something like that. So sometimes having that pause with a stretch of the word creates that impact. So whenever you want to create or emphasize that impact, stretch it a little bit. That will automatically create a vocal variety as well as body language in a natural way, rather than you are something on the spot improving to make that happen, which seems like it is not a natural. So you make it natural with a little bit of pause. That will automatically take care of that. Then coming to act the word, I really liked it. And frankly speaking, like he put in the chat window, if someone is listening to that and not witnessing what is happening, they feel this is the reality scenario. And there might be some the audio issue, but I felt it is natural for this event because they are connecting from the other side, and obviously in our movies, generally how they show it, it won't happen. They say something and we like, no, no, we can't hear you. Come on, repeat. I know these kind of things happens, and it made it natural. Even that. So what I would say is, at that point of time, you could have added one line which is not in the script. So the team, sometimes you can add something, we can't hear you. Then someone is trying to say it like something, it happens natural over here in the hilly areas. So something one additional, you can make it impromptu, and meanwhile you can chat behind the scenes that you are not at all audible, please go to some place where we can hear you. Okay, so something impromptu you can made it. That's the only session, because the remaining things you people are like way fabulous over there. So make add that impromptuness if needed. Sometimes you don't know, unplanned things suddenly come into our plate. So if possible, add that element. That the let's word it recital, fabulous job over there, how you people get into those things, then prepared a script, and after that going, it's like this helps mostly the people who are afraid of public speaking or who want to write speeches. Majority people were excited at the starting, giving every speech like a week, and then the slowly the time changes, two speeches per month, then one speech in 6 months, kind of a scenarios. For them it is like easy, you see, we didn't prepare anything before. Now we selected the topic. Just in 10-15 minutes we prepared, and we delivered like a 3 minute speech. Slowly we will increase to 5 minutes. That's all you needed. So you people, even your fear or stage fear, like how we are doing, you can also do it. You people are setting an example for, I think, every club in this world, stating that we can give impromptuness. Then now, since audience are investing time on us, you prepare and give speech next time. Because if you just give impromptu speech, there can be many flaws or improvements. So you prepare and give it. So you value time for you as well as enjoying the stage and giving the other person also a good content. That is a very good way of doing this thing. I really liked it. And I think that's it. I covered up pretty much. And the table topics evaluator, you did a fabulous job over explaining. You keep it short and crisp. Thanks to you. Timer, you always followed the things behind the scenes, messaging every hour. We are all shooting the time, check this, check that. Fabulous job. And finally, the language evaluator, good job over to you as well. One thing I would say is set some sort of a rules for the club so that you can make it things into your control. Okay. For example, I will start meeting on time and I will close meeting on time. Now, whom I am handovering the stage? Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster of the day, you have to ensure this is happening. I don't care, you are happy, you are sad, you are jumping, you die. I don't care anything. I want you to end these things on time and give it to General Evaluator for last half an hour. Before this 1 hour, you do anything you want, but I want this. So you make such kind of a thing, then what happens immediately? Whoever taking the role, they ensure, okay, last half an hour I have to give to General Evaluator, whatever the time it is I am having. So they automatically shrink their content, and they will focus more on the context next time to make sure they are not overshooting the time. So don't make like bring all the Toastmaster 20 rules and implement here. Make the rules which are convenient for your club for the timings and see how you can implicate it. Then things will become very easier for everyone and you will get it in a smooth flow. That's it from my side. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Aditya.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Vamsi, for that very comprehensive feedback and also ending it on time. Ah, all right, all right. So let me quickly summarize and hand over the charge to the presiding officer so that we make meaning out of it and we start embracing change effectively going forward. So I started my TMOD session with telling what is stopping us. What are the types of resistances, psychological, social, financial resistances stopping us? So all you have to do right now is to think of a goal, something that you would want to change in your life, something that you would want to keep it sustained in your life going forward, making a significant impact in your life. So think of a goal and then identify what are the resistances that are stopping you, and then use the formula D into V into F greater than R. Identify why you are dissatisfied, plan a vision for yourself, and start taking the first steps. Use the ADKAR model to identify why you are implementing this change. Have an intrinsic desire to bring change in your life. Earn the knowledge, earn the abilities to build the change and reinforce the change in your life. And finally, make sure your goals are measurable and specific. Have an accountability partner, a mentor, a coach, or a teacher who could help you in this changing process, who could help you monitor, control, and track the process that you are trying to change. And then finally, keep it sustained, keep it going. And why not we come back again in another meeting, in the next meeting, and discuss what we plan to change and how we are building it. On that note, I am passing on the charge to the presiding officer. Thank you for the opportunity. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Before the meeting, I told DTM Vamsi that we tend to go overtime sometimes. We are overtime today. Uh, but I think this was probably one of those meetings where I just sat back and had my jaw not just dropped down to the floor, literally all over the house. The kind of talent that comes to this club is amazing. Whether it's act the word, is Iman here? Iman's a very new Toastmaster. Unfortunately, she had some technical issues, but the way she caught on vocal variety was something else. Uh, Several of you who are trying your jobs for the first time, uh, Toastmasters Neha, Toastmasters Sangeeta, I think Toastmasters Srijita, it's the first time that you guys have participated in the Let's Word It segment, if I remember right. Yes. Yep. Well, let me just hear from you guys. Let me go from A for Arti. And hey, Toastmaster Arti, how did you find this meeting of Wordwise Toastmasters?
Yes, oh my God, it's my moment to shine. And I've been
Yeah.
thinking about how to put down my thoughts this entire meeting. But then I saw the clock and I'm going to try to generalize my thoughts now and maybe send you a message later on with my detailed evaluations, my detailed ideas. But overall, I think I'm just so incredibly fascinated. Like, as you rightly said, everyone is so talented, everyone is so eloquent. For a moment, I was questioning my ability, and I'm like, oh my God, these people are incredible and they shine so bright. And it's just amazing. You guys are really amazing. I thought I would maybe tell you guys about my favorite segment of the meeting, but then one segment after the other, and I was like, failed for choices. I'm like, okay, this one was nice. That is also nice. But finally, I've decided on the act, the word. I think that is something incredible. I've not seen that before. And I was right. At the beginning of this meeting, when I heard Aditya speak, I just knew that there's going to be a lot to absorb here. And that overwhelm that I felt with learning so many new things in just like 2 hours. And I was right. It actually happened. I felt like I was just like a sponge absorbing everything. So kudos to you guys. Kudos to everyone at Wise Word. Cyril, you were right again. You do lead from here one word wiser. So thank you. Thank you for inviting
Thank
me,
you.
and over to you.
Thank you so much. Act the word is something which DTM Talha bin Hamid conceptualized. We're having this back in the club after a while. You haven't seen all the segments at Wordwise. Do come back. There are some more segments that we do. We do bend the rules of Toastmasters in ways more than other clubs do. Do come back. Yeah. Let me
I will. I'll
quickly
surely
jump.
come back.
Yes. Let me quickly jump to Rashmi. This is your first Toastmasters meeting at Wordwise.
Yes. Like just now Aarti was saying, I think it's really difficult to pick what was your favorite or the best moment in the today's Toastmaster meeting. But of course, act the word. I think it is amazing the way collectively everyone has put their effort. Kudos to Adi, the flow of his entire knowledge sharing that he has done. Again, proving that knowledge is power. So I think it was amazing, and the entire Toastmaster session was conducted in a beautiful, coherent way. Didn't feel the miss out because we were not physically present there. Everyone has done really beautifully well in their roles. I'm very happy that I participated in this today's session.
Lovely. Do come back. With your permission, I'll
Yeah.
reach out to Toastmaster Aditya, add you to the guest group.
Sure, sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, Toastmaster Sangeeta. Did I live up to the promise of the club? Or
You lived up to all the bragging. You subjected us to an entire evening. Let me tell you, Toastmasters of Wordwise, an entire evening, Toastmaster Cyril subjected us to so much bragging about this club that when he sent me the invite, I came here to just see. I'm like, he's put me through so much. Let me see. Okay, he understated, I realized. So the club is far more than what Toastmaster Cyril was bragging about. I had a whale of a time. Thanks for having me.
Oh, wonderful. We'd like to see you more at Wordwise Toastmasters. Do come back and do enchant us with some of your speeches, as you do at BKC Fireflies and Agnel and all the other places that you go to. I think we'll benefit a lot from listening to you. And she does a mean job as a language evaluator. She raises that role to standards that we haven't thought about. It'll be great to have all of you. You want a great language evaluator? Reach out to Sangeeta Shruti. Thank you. Am I missing anyone here? I believe I am. Srijita, our former keynote speaker and the youngest
Sure.
Toastmaster in the room.
Please do not mention that. Um, I'm short of words as usual because in praise of this club, I or like I don't think I should use the word praise because praise has like the possibility of it being overstated. I think it is a very, very genuine fact that this club is a place that enriches you in ways that you didn't even think of before. And every time I come here and listening to people becomes so engrossing that, for example, while I was writing my Let's Word It segment, I was stopping every 5 seconds to listen to what somebody was saying. And I was in the situation where I was scared that I would immediately plagiarize what other people were saying in my written piece because it was just me trying to move my head two ways. But the crux of it all being that this is a very fascinating place, very geeky, very nerdy, and I love it for what it is. And always a very hearty pleasure to be here. Always.
Likewise, always a pleasure to host you. And do come by. Do take part in Act the Word. I've said a few things about your cadence, like the way you speak, and yeah, let's try that and Act the Word. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Absolutely. And one last person is Toastmaster Obed. Now, I'm not sure. Today's meeting was overwhelming in terms of several things, the kind of quality that we had. Toastmaster Obed rarely uses any crutch word. When we say that, have a filler word, it's fine. Let it not be a crutch word. But this gentleman never even used a filler word. How was the meeting, sir?
Well, as expected, it was fantastic meeting. I really had fun there. And the best part of this meeting is, in English we say iron sharpens iron. And I find so many flintstone here to rub myself against and get sharpened. So this is the beauty of this meeting. I always enjoy being part of it. Unfortunately, this is usually held on working days and I'm on job. So I just, I try my level best to, get along with that. But most of the time I have to skip the meeting and do the fairs. But thank you very much. Fantastic. I really love that.
Wow. If you're keeping time aside from your job to attend this meeting, thank you so very much. Means a lot to us. And yes, do try to attend our future meetings as well, if that's possible. Yeah, I'd like to specially mention DTM TBH. You have the voting results ready with you, right? Just coming over to you for the announcements. I'd like to give a special mention to all the Act the Word participants today. I think some of them are not here right now, which means the meeting is really extended. But please join me in congratulating each and every one of them for passing their vocal variety project in as per the Toastmasters program. On that note, I've spoken a lot. The next meeting shall be on 21st of December. It's very close to a special date. And I'm not talking about Christmas, and I'm not talking about New Year. That date is special for a different reason. Do attend that meeting to see what I'm talking about. Yes, over to you, DTM TBH, to announce the winners of today as per the audience poll.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Today, of course, best speaker and best evaluator, since both were the only ones and both met the time, they are designated as the best. Best wordsmith was a contentious battle, but it was won by Toastmasters Vignettes. Congratulations. Best major role player today was won by our Toastmaster of the day, DTM Aditya. Congratulations. Best table topics today goes to Toastmaster Rashmi. Congratulations. And yeah, I think we're done. Over to you.
Lovely. Lovely. We need to have Toastmaster Aditya back for part 2 of the segment. And believe me, his sessions are wonderful. It's like getting an entire psychology course to yourself or reading a book. They're very much knowledge packed. Yeah. Thank you, each and every one of you, for being part of the WordWise meeting today. DTM Nazia, wonderful to see you after a long time. And DTM Muhammad Asghar, great job as a TTM. And on that note, I wish you all a wonderful afternoon. Take care, God bless, and have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
Live long
Bye.
and prosper.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone,
Have a
and
great
goodbye.
weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Arti's trying to do the, you just put your fingers together and, yeah.
I'm trying, but I can't.
Oh, okay. It just takes a bit of practice. Yeah, we have another Trekkie there.
TBH should be able to do it.
Yeah,
TBH should be able to do it.
just did.
Arti got it. Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yay.
Nice.
I did it too. I did it too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice. Hey, let's take a
awesome.
screenshot. Let's take a
Yeah,
screenshot if
let's do
possible.
that. Let's do that. Yeah.
Okay, just give me a second.
Damn, Asghar is.
Oh, I can't find the key. I can't find the key.
I got it.
Yeah, I found it. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Thank you.
Got it?
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
I
much.
do feel like Jadoo for some reason.
It turned out I could maintain this if I attempted to take a screenshot. So, yeah. Okay.
Thank you,
guys.
everyone.
Catch
Have a
you.
lovely weekend. Bye-bye.
Wonderful
Take care.
performances.
Many all thanks to Toastmaster Cyril. He wrote the script, he directed us, he took out time, we had rehearsals throughout the week. He selected the role players. Yeah, thank you. It was fun.
I told TBH that I'll take this segment a notch higher. I hope I've lived up to that promise.
You set the standard. Now we know what to do. All right.
You want to get even higher.
Yeah.
Your